Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami, and indeed welcome back to the Moon Cave, although 100 years prior to when we last visited it, or first visited it. Oh god, time travel. It does a number on your noggin, so it does, but at least we've got really strong Sake.
Yep. And you may have realised that the Moon Cave isn't quite as destroyed as when we last visited it. So, instead of having to go through the entirety of the Moon Cave, we can just toddle on up to Orochi and go, "Yo, duck, please die."
Wow, that was simultaneously... Well, no, it was just dodgy. I'm not gonna recognise any of your words today.
But also, Oki is here because, as you can tell, he believes that killing the demon will bring about Kotone's glow.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot he came through the portal with us to begin with.
There is Lika.
Oh boy, I don't think I'm ready for fully powered Orochi.
His bark's worse than his bite, to be fair.
Yeah, isn't it always the way? Oh my god. He's beautiful, he's golden.
He is pretty fabulous.
Yeah, we had a lot of help from Cesaro the last time, and I don't exactly see his ancestor coming to help this time.
Well, not for the time being, since he's kind of knocked out. But as long as we hold our own for a bit, then we might be okay.
Oh, or Oki, as the saying may go. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Oki's gonna do bull roll.
That sword is never gonna glow, my friend. Alright, let's see what you've got here.
I think he's probably just gonna go in for the kill. It's not gonna end well for him.
Well, I haven't watched this part yet, obviously we're recording this, and I probably could have told you that myself.
Well, I mean, if it did go well, then this part wouldn't be like about just over 20 minutes long, would it?
Alrighty, round 2, I suppose, or round 1. Again, time travel semantics, go for it, mate.
Yeah, so this is exactly the same fight as the last time we fought Orochi, which is really annoying, and it's why people generally say this is probably one of the worst fights in the game, because it's just slow, and we have to do it again. And at this point, you're just sort of just like, really not too bothered by this.
Is it the same strategy as the first time?
It's exactly the same strategy as the first time. You run around, make each head drunk, and try and kill him.
Right. In that case, I am allowing a tangent. Is there anything in particular you would like to talk about?
Well, I suppose we could talk about games that reuse boss fights and whether they work and when they work would probably be a fun tangent, because I feel in the case of Orochi it would have worked if this fight was more interesting. From a narrative perspective, this is awesome. From a gameplay perspective, this is just more tedium.
I liked the gold form. Pretty aesthetically nice, but other than that, no, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it, too repetitive. And yeah, go for it, mate. Your turn.
So, I mean, in terms of games that reuse boss fights that I feel work, Bayonetta does a decent job of it, because you fight Jeanne a couple of times because she's your rival, and obviously the rival fight is always a good one.
Oh yeah.
But also because the fight's quite exciting, even though you're facing down the same battle, it's more interesting. Also, it helps that her battle technique changes as you go, so it's much more exciting because she has new stuff on offer. But even when you're just facing slightly weaker versions of other boss fights, because So you've got the cardinal virtues in the game. So you've got Fortitudo, Temperantia, Iustitia, and Sapientia. And throughout the game, you will also come across enemies, I think, Courage, Temperance, Justice, and I think it's Wisdom, which are the weaker versions, which have the same kind of moves, but they're just sort of in smaller varieties. And they're also okay to take down because even though it's the same technique, the battles are much quicker because they don't have nearly as much health, so you can deal with that. I mean, I would also say that in most games that end up having a boss rush, they tend to go with, well, most of the boss rushes are fights that aren't that long in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and just to interject quickly, like in the case of Mega Man,
yes,
usually the first time you won't have the boss's weaknesses, but during the boss rush at the end of, like, say, the classic games, and to a lesser extent the X games, of course you're going to have it, so it makes fights that much quicker. Even though they're still a little bit repetitive, they give you a bit of a reprieve.
Exactly, and also because you, at that point, you have all the powers, you can choose how you take on that fight, and you have much more at your command to be able to make use of.
For sure.
I would say, trying to think of other games that reuse boss fights, and I've now hit a little bit of a brick wall. I mean, I suppose the Mario games, they tend to reuse boss fights quite a lot.
Oh, yeah, Super Mario 3D Land comes to mind with, like, Boom Boom and so on.
Yeah, and I feel that while those fights become increasingly less interesting, just because you're wanting something a little bit different, because the fights are over so quickly, they never struggle from being tedious, because it's just a couple of hits and they're out. So it's not a huge problem.
Bit boring maybe, but never tedious, because like you said, they're over and done with in, like, what, 2 minutes max maybe. My pick, and I'm also going to go for a rival here, is your rival from the Pokemon games, specifically Blue.
Oh god, yes.
Because, you know, you start off, you get a starter, he gets a starter, annoyingly, maybe due to a bit of nepotism, he gets a starter that beats yours. Thanks, Professor Oak, by the way. But as you grow, he grows, until eventually you're standing in front of him on the Champions altar at the end. And oh my god, that's the most hype a child can have, I think, back in the day.
God, yes. I don't think that the Pokemon franchise has ever managed to create a rival as effective as Blue. Since
Silver came close.
Silver was pretty close, but that's because he did a very, very different thing to what Blue did. Because he was that man of mystery that nobody really knew anything about. Whereas Blue was just an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think they have been doing some slightly more interesting things with the rivals recently, because...
Oh yes, Gladion. Gladion was pretty good.
Oh yes, you had Gladio, who was effectively your rival.
No, Gladion. Gladio is from Final Fantasy 15, I think.
This is what happens when there are two video game characters whose names begin with Gladio.
Yeah, for sure.
Those letters. You end up mixing them up. It's because I haven't played Pokemon Sun in a very long time at this point. So most of that's just gone just completely out of my head.
Yeah, you might as well wait for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon though.
Exactly. But thankfully, True don't quite know what's happening with my mouth there. True Orochi is defeated, finally.
Oh, he tried to cast a tongue-tying spell on you, but no, you were too powerful. I think you're the true Dark Lord here, mate.
And still, Oki thinks that he's going to do this. And just like, come on, Oki. Just get over yourself. The bloody sword ain't gonna glow. Just yet, at least.
Remember when that happened for Susanoo and it was the hypest shit? Yeah, probably not gonna happen a second time.
Well, certainly not with that blade. Oki, can you have your existential crisis somewhere else, please?
Oh, here we go. Is he still wearing the stuff? I need to know.
Of course he's still wearing the stuff! And don't worry, this is going to get even more ridiculous.
It better.
I mean, for starters, look at the chest here.
Yep.
You've already seen the pot belly, which is quite funny. But there was something that I mentioned when, at least I believe I mentioned, when we did the QuickTime event with Susanoo. I mean, obviously this is, for God's sake, Nagi, pull yourself together, man.
Well, at least he stuck the landing, I suppose.
Yeah, and also he managed to still try and be slightly cool while doing it. But yes, I mentioned that when we were doing this with Susanoo, that if you failed, then something funny would happen. Well, since Nagi's not quite the amazing hero we thought he was, and also he looks ridiculous anyway, how about we see what that looks like?
Alrighty. Oh, that never gets old, it's always hype.
Oh god, yes it is. So exactly as last time, we need to fulfill the legend of Orochi.
Nothing like a good sword imbuing to get the blood pumping. There we go.
Oh god, Oki's getting glowy sword envy.
Well, I'm part of the heavens, so that's technically true.
Of course it is, and you can tell Susanoo is his descendant, but yes, this is what happens when you fail. The outfit gets destroyed a little bit. He gets a black eye, a patch on his head, and also, let's just say that we're going to be seeing quite a lot of his butt.
Yes.
Which is immediately going to make certain scenes particularly ridiculous, but it's hilarious.
Is this harder than last time, would you say, or is it roughly the same QuickTime event?
It's roughly the same, it's just a bit quicker.
Okay. Ach no, my heads are dead. Oh boy, here we go. Oh. Oh boy. That went from awesome to what the hell really quickly. Oh my god, yes.
There is our level 5 glaive. This is the Thunder Edge.
You better be fucking using that.
Of course I'm bloody using that. It's a bloody amazing weapon. And look, we've rescued Lika!
Oh yay. I mean, that's cool, but fucking Thunder Sword, mate. Hell yes. Well, you talking about his arse or just the sword?
Aww. So, yes, everything is good. But we know that the story doesn't end well for Shiranui. So what's going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, we've still got 10 minutes left in this part, so there's got to be something dramatic.
Oh, you damn betcha.
Oh, yeah, sword envy. I think you were right earlier. More like he sulked away, am I right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like, Oki, get over yourself. It's like he's sort of the complete opposite to Susanoo.
Yeah.
In the sense of, Susanoo knew he wasn't the hero he wanted, he needed to be, and so he pretended he was and ran away from it. Oki thinks he's the hero that he's not, and is running headfirst into battle to try and prove that he is who he thinks he is, and it's just not the case.
Oh, parallels. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Wait a minute, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe take the sword back? Yeah, I mean, it's sparkling gold now. You could probably sell it.
Well, no, it's sealing Orochi away for 100 years. So it's kind of important that we leave it here.
Oh, okay, well. Yeah, probably for the best. Hopefully he's managed to get himself back through the Spirit Gate, because I ain't chaperoning him.
I'm sure he will have managed, but... yeah, big glowy evil ball in the sky. This isn't good.
Is there an evil above evil? Something above Orochi? Oh, I think I'm about to get my answer pretty quickly. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
And there is Shiranui.
Sorry, mind blown a little bit there, because I thought Nagi got crushed for a second and my brain just kind of shut down in grief.
It is one of those moments, but... yeah. There's Shiranui, and there is Shiranui's celestial envoy,
Aww.
Ishaku.
Granddad?
Uh-huh. Old man Ishaku was the previous celestial envoy, and he went on a journey with Shiranui, just like Isun has journeyed with us.
I'll carry you this time.
And so, thankfully, well, as long as we make it out of here, we've gotten out alive, but that is how Shiranui died.
Jeez.
And yeah, we just really need to leg it out of the moon cave right now.
Well, that was easy.
It was quite, but... We've got to make you play these things, and since we saved Lika, we're just getting the hell out of there.
And that was kind of... it wasn't anticlimactic, but it felt a bit rushed.
Yeah, I feel like perhaps could have done with a cutscene, I feel, just to bridge that gap from leaving to here. But... oh well, these things happen.
So did Shiranui... sorry, I keep getting the pronunciation wrong. Did Shiranui die of, like, blocking the boulder from crushing Nagi? Did she die of injuries?
You'll see, but that was the last blow that did Shiranui in.
Okay.
But yes, it looks like the Day of Darkness is nearly here. And Isun asks a very good question. What happens when the sun disappears? What happens to Army's powers?
Wow, I think we're about to become what happens when we run out of ink and whatnot.
Oh, I think it's a bit more than that.
Yeah, a lot more.
Now we get the glorious giving Kushinada a ride once more as we return through Yoshpet with Lika. Thankfully we don't have to go through the crazy minigame section again.
Oh, bless her.
We do just get to enjoy this glorious music.
Hi, Poggles, bye, Poggles.
Yeah, we'll be popping by to see them maybe once more, but we have very little need to go revisit the Ponkles after this, but we are in the final stretch of the game.
Oh my god, I'm starting to feel it, mate. The endgame hype.
I mean, we've still got quite a ways to go, but we are plotting right the way through until the next boss.
Nice.
And by plotting I mean dungeoning, because, you know, have to have a dungeon, but that's still classified as plotting, so...
There you go, there you go.
all good.
Alright, so we're gonna get a bit of volcanic incantationing.
Well, I'd like to try, but... first off we need to get to the lake, but also the blizzard has picked up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit more difficult than we would have hoped.
God, things are looking a little bleak now. God damn, I hope we didn't come too late.
Hopefully not. Right, okay, we are on Ezofuji. And the blizzard's even worse up here.
Well, close to the sky, I guess.
Well, less that. More, there's a little, something occurring. Nobody's here. And, yeah...
Something to do with the Ark, isn't it?
Well, actually no. If you look up to the top of the mountain, you may be able to see that that's actually where a lot of this blizzard is coming from.
Oh, okay, so it's not a natural blizzard. It's man or demon made.
Uh-huh.
Very interesting.
So, if we head up there, we shall see what has occurred. And as you can tell, they're all incredibly distressed right now.
Oh my god. Is the gate opening?
Well, this is the Wawku Shrine, and those doors should be shut. And also, it is the Day of Darkness.
Oh, it's always a day of summit.
And the demons on Ezofuji are making the blizzard worse to try and kill off everything in Kamui.
Wow, talk about pay.
Yeah, if they kind of freeze everybody and then the sun is completely blocked out, then yeah, these guys are probably not going to make it through the night.
What's that guy on the left trying to accomplish?
I think he's trying to pray the door shut.
Yeah, seems likely.
I don't think it's quite going to work.
Oh.
Now we find out exactly why Oki took the sword, and he's only ever been trying to protect his people. He may have been going about it the wrong way, but he had good intentions.
This is end times right here. Is the volcanic incantation even going to do anything at this point?
If we can make it happen, then hell yeah, it's going to do something. If that doesn't happen, then yeah, these people are gonna die. Leek is going to go down the mountain and start the incantation and just keep doing it. We are going to go into the Wawku Shrine, and we are going to go take on those demons.
Ooh, is it a dungeon?
It is indeed a dungeon. This is our final dungeon.
Nice, it's been a while since we've been in one actually, but I'm excited. Let's do this. Oh, Sabical, you're doing your job, mate, and I appreciate you at last.
And yeah, Old Man Kemu is praying to shut the gate,
Well,
as I said.
You would, wouldn't you? You would.
You would, but he should really just go home right now, get in the warm, but either way. Let's go. And head in to the Wawku Shrine after we've saved.
Indeed. We'll see you guys next time for a bit more Okami, where things are getting really serious. See you then.